Yo, Strong Opinion Sports has a store. Shirts, hoodies, everything. It's all on sale until the end of November. Go buy stuff. I want to talk to discouraged Denver Broncos fans because I want to tell you, Drew Lock is growing. He's learning, but he's also not hopeless. Drew Lock is doing some good things as well. I wouldn't give up on Drew Lock. In fact, I really haven't given up on Drew Lock. Now, people are very mad at me, especially in the state of New York, because there are hardcore Giants fans who are like, well, you've given up on Daniel Jones. Why have you not given up on Drew Lock? And my answer is, well, number one, life is not fair. And that's not my job to cover your feelings or to be, I'm as fair as I can be, by the way. But even if you're mad, it's not my job to really worry about you being mad. And I would also say, number two, I would give a greater amount of chances to Drew Lock because he's a more talented quarterback than Daniel Jones. He's got a bigger, stronger arm. And then also, you have to realize, I don't know that Denver is going to be in a position where they can replace Drew Lock. I mean, that matters. If you can't replace your quarterback, it doesn't matter if he's good or not. He's got to figure it out. And here's what's very, very important. I want people to hear this. Next year, when everybody's healthy, the Broncos are going to have a ton of offensive weapons. They're going to have a good defense, good weapons. If they're healthy next year, Denver's going to have a loaded roster, probably another good player because they're going to have a high first-round draft pick. Not to mention you have a good offensive coordinator, Pat Shurmur. I think a high draft pick, probably not high enough to replace Drew Lock. But here's the thing. Drew Lock needs to be ready for next year. Drew Lock has to get things figured out. I think a little bit of compassion for Drew Lock makes sense. Remember, don't forget he's in a new offense. The players all around him got hurt. Remember, if everybody you're planning to work with gets injured and you're like, our plan is now destroyed, I could see how that would affect a young quarterback. But regardless of all the excuses and this and that, people need to realize, and I guess Drew Lock, forget other people, this offseason, Drew Lock needs to decide whether or not he wants to make it in the NFL. This offseason, is he going to sit by the pool and he's very wealthy? Is he going to relax, hang out with his girlfriend, chill, be happy, and do a little bit of training? Or is he going to really put the pedal to the metal and get after it? How hungry is Drew Lock to succeed? Does Drew Lock want to win that badly? Does he want to make it in the NFL that badly? Because also, there's significant financial incentive if he plays very well. It's not that hard. I mean, hey, you're going to make a crap load of money if you play very, very well. Drew Lock needs to spend money now hiring people that can help him practice and perfect his craft. He needs to hire a coach to help him watch film and dissect his game. Also to watch other quarterbacks and take the good parts of Tom Brady's game and Drew Brees' game and Big Ben's game and pull from other quarterbacks. He needs to become a student of the game. He needs to throw one-on-ones constantly. If you need to hire receivers and defensive backs, guys who can just practice throwing the ball into the bucket or into a really tiny window against man coverage down the sideline. Practice the stuff you're struggling with right now in the NFL. He needs to put himself through like a personal boot camp because, again, he needs to improve in order to capitalize next year when the Broncos are ready to win. I would hate to see this Broncos roster in a phenomenal position to win. And, oh yeah, by the way, Drew Lock didn't do the work. He wasn't good enough. He wasn't ready. That would be really frustrating and unfortunate. Again, Drew needs to become a student of the game. Playing quarterback needs to become his craft. He's got to take it more. It's hard to judge how seriously he takes it, but he's got to ramp things up. And if he doesn't, it's not going to work in Denver, and the Broncos are never going to live up to the potential they have next year. They have so many things going for them, but their quarterback, Drew Lock, has to get better this offseason and take a step forward, or else it's not going to work at all next year in Denver.